October 3rd, 2014. The rain is coming down hard, turning the world into a blur of grey. Inside an unfinished building, a man is running, his breath catching in his throat. He's running through the shadows, and he looks absolutely terrified. In the distance, another figure stands perfectly still, watching him. This is Michael Carter. For just a split second, their eyes meet. And then it's over. 7 years later, that single moment will come rushing back, and it will change everything. Because sometimes the truth doesn't just disappear, it waits. 7 years after the disappearance that shook the small town of Greenridge, life seems to have moved on. Michael Carter is no longer just a small-time cable operator. He's a respected businessman now. He bought the Old Town Theatre, he's expanding his company, and he makes generous donations to the local schools. You see him at public speeches, accepting community awards. He's seen as a pillar of the community, a devoted father and a loving husband. To the outside world, he's untouchable. But behind the closed doors of his perfect house, the past still whispers. His wife, Emily, is struggling. Her anxiety is getting worse. She has sleepless nights, sudden panic attacks that leave her gasping for air. Their daughter, Sarah, watches her mother with a quiet worry, a sense of guilt hanging over their home like a thick fog. Michael, though, pretends everything is fine. He acts like life is completely normal, because sometimes pretending to be normal is the only way to survive. Just when the town thought the case had gone cold, Detective Marcus Hale arrives. He's a transfer from the capital, and he's nothing like the original investigator, Laura Mitchell. Hale is cold, methodical. He isn't interested in emotions or hunches, he studies patterns. He locks himself in a room and reviews hours of old interrogation footage. He watches every pause, every breath, every single time Michael blinks. And he notices something unsettling. Michael never defends himself emotionally. His answers are always logical, measured, completely controlled. Marcus whispers to himself, either this guy is innocent, or he's been preparing for this for a very long time. Without any fanfare, without alerting the media, he quietly reopens the file. He's not looking for a fight. He's just observing. Meanwhile, Sarah, Michael's daughter, starts getting closer to her neighbor, a woman named Jessica Miller. Jessica has a soft voice, a kind and understanding smile. She's always there to listen. One night, feeling overwhelmed, Sarah completely breaks down. Through her tears, she talks about that terrible night. She says, "It was chaos. Everything happened so fast." But her words are a jumble, fragmented and emotional. It's hard to make sense of what she's really saying. Later, Detective Hale reveals something shocking. Jessica Miller, the kind neighbor, had been in communication with the police department. She wasn't an official undercover agent, nothing illegal, but she had reported her concerns about the family's well-being. For safety and documentation purposes, her conversation with Sarah had been recorded. The recording is played in court. Everyone listens intently, but it doesn't sound like a confession at all. It sounds like the raw, confused voice of trauma. The words are ambiguous, open to interpretation. Marcus feels like he's getting closer to the truth, but it's still just out of reach. Then, a new development breaks. Investigators re-examine a construction site connected to the original timeline of the disappearance. The media goes into a frenzy. Headlines explode across the news. New evidence found in Greenridge case. Social media is flooded with speculation and theories. Michael watches the news reports from his living room, completely silent. There's no panic, no anger, just a strange, unnerving calm. But when the forensic results come back, they deliver another twist. The remains discovered at the site do not match the missing person. Instead of getting clearer, the case becomes even more complicated. Confusion spreads, and Marcus realizes something important. The harder he pushes, the more uncertain everything becomes. With no direct evidence, the case still moves forward, built entirely on a web of circumstantial links. The prosecution paints a compelling picture for the jury. They highlight Michael's suspicious behavior, the gaps in his timeline, his strange lack of emotion. It's a powerful narrative. But then, the defense pulls out something completely unexpected. They present a novel, a work of fiction that was published years ago. The plot of the book is eerily similar. A father becomes the prime suspect in a disappearance. There's a secret that gets buried, and it all culminates in a dramatic courtroom twist. The parallels are striking. The defense lawyer looks at the jury and asks, "Are we uncovering the truth here, or are we all just unconsciously following a story that was written long ago?" Reasonable doubt begins to creep into the courtroom. For the first time, Marcus starts to question himself. Was he following the evidence? Or was he just following the story he expected to find? After the day's proceedings, outside the courthouse, away from the cameras and the reporters, Laura Mitchell, the mother of the missing person, approaches Michael. It's just the two of them. Her voice is quiet, but firm. "You know something," she says. "It's not a question. It's a statement." Michael looks at her, his face tired, but his gaze is as calm as ever. He finally speaks, his voice low. "If protecting your family meant losing everything you've ever built, would you hesitate?" Laura doesn't answer. She can't. The law demands proof, hard evidence that she doesn't have. But her grief demands closure, and closure is the one thing she may never get. The river in Greenridge flows quietly, just as it always has. Life in the town continues. The case remains officially open, but it's inactive. Michael stands on the riverbank, watching his daughters laugh as they play nearby. He doesn't look triumphant. He doesn't look guilty. He just looks present. He turns away from the water and walks back towards the town, disappearing into the crowd. The greatest illusion isn't hiding the truth. It's making the world believe they've already found it. Thanks for watching.